Yeah, it's Steve Shikatans here. Today I want to talk to you about forgiveness and thinking. First of all, uh, the first, forgiveness is something that we all need to be forgiven. It's easier for us to say, well, I need to forgive that person, but the person, probably the biggest person you'll need to forgive is yourself, and you need to uh, take that and say, let yourself off the hook a little bit. So you screwed up. We all screw up in life. We all make bad choices, bad decisions, and then we go back and we say, oh man, if I only would have done this or I only would have done that. And then there this guilt comes, and that guilt just can cause us to all kinds of suffering and pain, and it's kind of the opposite of a joyful, wonderful life. It'll end up with resentments and bitterness, and it can actually show up in physical problems. You can have all kinds of stomach problems, and the blood doesn't work right. I mean, it just goes on and on. So the first person, and probably, look yourself in the mirror and just say, I forgive you. I screwed up, but I forgive myself. And then in that case, you can ask to be forgiven by God. Ask him to forgive your sins, and he'll come into your life and give you this peace that passes understanding. And forgiveness is something that Jesus gave us that example on the cross. When he was on there, he asked for forgiveness for the very people that put him there, which is actually, in all reality, it's you and me. And so, ask for that forgiveness, but also forgive yourself. We go around, I went a lot of years around in what I call beating myself up. I spent time just criticizing myself nonstop, constantly. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't not look at, it's a good idea. Don't think you're perfect. It's a good idea to stop and say, all right, I'm getting these results. I'm having these results in my life, this unhappiness, and then really sit down and say, what can I do with this? Where can I go? And really take a good, honest look at yourself and ask yourself, is that something I need to work on and change? And forgive yourself for all of that stuff, and then once you do that, then you can begin to forgive other people that have hurt you in the past. That's life. We all have people that are going to hurt you, and a lot of times the people that hurt you are the ones that are closest to your family members and good friends. And you don't want to carry around bitterness and resentments with you your whole life, because it makes for a miserable, unhappy life. And you want to be joyous and free. We want to have, and when you can do that, when it releases things. It releases you to be happy. And if you have somebody come up to you and all they want to talk about is how horrible their life is and all these bad things that happen to them, even though in their mind it may be true, their perception of that, how long do you want to be around that? And I heard this story. So this guy was driving along a road, and he sees this man getting ready to jump off a bridge and commit suicide. And so he thought, I got to do something. So he runs up to the man and he says, no, don't jump. I know you're probably have problems. I have problems too. Why don't you just tell me all your problems, and don't do it? And so the man began to tell him all his problems, and 2 hours later they both jumped. So, we all have problems. That's just life. I mean, that's just it. But when you focus on that, you're going to get more of it. And if you hang around people that are constantly talking about your problems, you're going to end up jumping too. You're going to jump off a figurative bridge into despair and despondency and bitterness and anger, because you become like the people that you associate with. So be very careful. Pick your friends wisely. And if you have family members that are, if you have family members that are like this, unfortunately, is you can still love them. You're just going to have to love them from a distance, because this, what we're talking about here, will affect your life, and it'll affect it on all levels. It'll affect it physically, financially, spiritually, mentally. All areas of your life will be affected by this thing we call it unforgiveness. And sometimes, when there's a lot of ailments and people get in there, they have a unforgiveness toward God. Well, God gave me all this stuff, and that's not how I see it. God doesn't give us that. He gave us a mind that we can direct, and we can decide how we look at that. What a beautiful gift that is. So take your mind, take a hold of your thoughts. Don't let your thoughts run rampant. Take a hold of your thoughts. You can control them, and give yourself a break here. Give yourself some forgiveness, and once you can forgive yourself for some of the things you have done, then you can begin to start to forgive others. And don't focus on everything that's bad. It's your choice. You can focus. So you had a rough childhood. That. Look at the positive side of it. It taught you how to be on your own. It taught you to be tough. You can handle things. You can handle pressures that a lot of people cannot handle. There's always you have the choice. You can either look at the negative. On the other side of the coin is, I had a rough childhood, so therefore I'm going to use that for an excuse to be angry and to be rough on other people. You're gonna get back what you put out. One of the big things is success. I can give you my definition of being successful is, how much are you serving people? How big's your account? Your happiness account, your bank account is in direct proportion to how well you're serving others. If you've got a problem, go help somebody else with that same problem. It's amazing how when you help somebody else, your problem all of a sudden just seems to get fixed, because you're serving someone else. So service is the answer here. And you might not want to hear that. It's easier to just say, oh, just give me the money and I'll take care. But serve others, and know what you're doing, work at it, and work at serving other people. There used to say here that there's no such thing as a business failure. There's only people failures. And we have the ability to control this. So give yourself some forgiveness, forgive others, and take this, and don't just say, well, that all sounds good and all, but I can't do this. Make an effort. Sometimes in life, things that come easy don't really matter too much. You hear about those kids that their parents are multi-millionaires, and they give them these cars, and they just don't even care about them. And they don't care if they wreck them. They don't care if they're dirt. They just don't care about anything. And that can go over to their physical life too. If you've spent a lot of time not caring about yourself, make it a goal. Set some goals for yourself. And if you go, well, I don't have the time. Well, I used to say that, but I found out that there's plenty of time. I have the same amount of time as everybody does. I just get up earlier. I sleep faster. I don't need as much sleep. You don't have to sit. And if you do, go to bed earlier. Don't play video games all night long. Don't watch television nonstop. Keep the TV on till 3 in the morning. And if you're going to do that, get some of this kind of stuff going into your head. You're going to get out what you put in. So, serve yourself, but also serve others. Be of service. The service, there's, if you want to be successful, just be nicer. Just make it a goal to be nicer to other people and serve them. Give them something. So anyway, I'm going to cut this off right now, but forgive don't have unforgiveness, forgive yourself and forgive others, and your life will be wonderful. So have a good one, and we'll see you next time.